It's a new investment style. And even if it's 2024, it's still a new investment style. We know that quant has been globally recognized and practiced for years now, and it became prominent since 2010-ish. So how did they make their way into the Indian market? Could you just throw some light on that part?
If you talk about the retail side, I would say when people started seeing the potential of quant investing, for example, momentum investing, which is investing based on the trend, right? Like a purely quantitative strategy. Quant investing is just like regular investing where,
Namaste and welcome to today's session. We have a topic on our hands that's been making waves in the industry. Following the recent SEBI raid on the quant mutual funds, investors में बहुत सारी controversy and confusion create हो चुका है on these investment models. The reliability of quant model itself is at stake. People are concerned about it, and it's understandable. And is it something that we should be worried about? Is it something that we need to take care of? What do we expect? Now, to clear this air and to provide us with comprehensive understanding on quant models, we have with us Ms. Sonam Srivastava, Fund Manager at Right Research, IIT Kanpur pass out, and a seasoned expert in the field. She has worked closely with Radhika Gupta at Edelweiss on algorithmic trading, and she has also been a key member at HSBC on equity derivative structuring team. She comes with over a decade of experience in this field. Welcome, Sonam. Welcome. We are very much delighted to have you here with us, and we really look forward to gaining insights from your extensive experience that you bring up. Let's dive into the session. Let's take everyone back to where it all started. Let's start from scratch. We know that quant has been globally recognized and practiced for years now, and it became prominent since 2010-ish. So how did they make their way into the Indian market? Could you just throw some light on that part?
No, definitely. I think, quant is basically approaching investing through systematic methods, right? Mixing data and numbers and working through that. So I think that evolved in India only after the breadth of the market increased. Right? Okay, so initially when we were a very small market, then, you didn't need quant. But I think from 2010, the SEBI allowed algos to come and operate in the market, right? And that is when it became prominent. And since then, it's been a slow adoption. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of institutional brokers use algos and all to trade.
Yeah.
But among investors and broader community, it is slowly now getting traction.
Can you tell us what were the key factors that facilitated their introduction in India? Like, how was there a need for them to come into the Indian market, and how did the Indian market adapt to that situation, being a new investment approach itself?
Right. See, I think like I said, when the breadth increased, that is when the need of systems came. Right. If you think about, a few years ago, people were able to do arbitrage, trade everything, they had something, and then, it became, the volumes become so high that algos were needed.
Okay.
And if you talk about the retail side, I would say when people started seeing the potential of quant investing, for example, momentum investing, which is investing based on the trend, right? Like a purely quantitative strategy. When people saw that it's working really well, they got interested in what is this quant and why is it working well, and that's how it has gained some traction.
Could you explain how this quant model works? What are the factors, the benefits, the core principles of on which these quant models are based on?
No, definitely. See, I think quant investing is just like regular investing where like any investor might be looking at, let's say, the fundamental value of a company or the growth of the company or maybe just the trend of the company. So quant models are also looking at the same factors, right?
Okay.
But they are doing it through statistical models, right? They will look at how is this factor there for all stocks in the universe, what is the pattern I'm seeing in based on it. They will do back testing on historical data. So it's a little bit more scientific way of investing. But at the end of the day, if you ask what factors, right, we are all looking at, fundamental factors like value, growth, quality, or price trend base, weight. With quant, you can do much more also. For example, you can extract sentiment right, which is from the news data.
Right, okay.
So you can do much more, but traditionally, the factors are very similar to what any investor would sort of look at.
So if an investor want to invest into, or if we find a differentiation between a conventional mode of investment and the quant model, which one would you suggest, and which type of investor should be more keen to look at, that type of investing? What would you suggest?
See, I think the quant way of investing has a lot of benefits, right? One is that because it is system driven, it is based on systematic models, it ends up being very consistent, right? So as a human investor, if you look at it, somebody who's taking a call can be biased. I bought a stock, not sell it and all that. With a quantitative model, it will always follow similar rules, so it will not have that bias, right?
Human interaction, so there's no emotion involved into this investing style.
Plus, there are a lot of other benefits. For example, quant can, whenever some trade or some investment is taken, it is able to explain why exactly this happened, right?
Okay.
It's very transparent in that sense, which probably a human fund manager is not going to explain to you. And thirdly, I would say, even risk management, right, is much more proactive in quant. So you will see that quant strategies will end up having lower risk than a traditional manager. Traditional managers typically, let's say they will say, okay, I'm betting on this theme. It's my 5-year call. I'm not going to sell it. Whereas quant models will be much
practical in that sense. Okay, so beta will always be low in the quant model, right?
And so it definitely has a lot of advantages.
Can you tell us, how do they analyze data and use algorithms to make any investment decisions in?
Yes, so see, data and algorithm can be used in multiple ways. A very simple way to look at it is, you can imagine an Excel sheet, right, where, you have all the stocks, right, and for example, there will be a momentum investing, so they will all have a number associated with them, which talks about momentum, right, which is the trend. Some score they would have. Now, a very simple way is, you're just ranking them, picking the top stocks, right? But then you can do much more, right? You can look at how these stocks are moving together, right? And what are the sectors? So you don't want everything to be in the same sector. So they try to diversify using some algorithm. So that's a very simple way to understand it. And then there are a lot of other algorithms that you can use, optimization methods.
So we have to put on these algos in the system, or how is it? How exactly?
Yes. So see, a quant analyst typically designs the systems, right?
Okay. Right.
So first thing they will do is they will try to get data. For example, I will need fundamental data for all the companies, right? So I'll go and get fundamental data for a lot of history for different companies. And then price data. Then I will try to create a system, then how to rank them, how to create a portfolio out of them, right? And then I will historically test this system, right, over multiple years, see how the return of the system would be. If it's not looking good, then I will optimize some parameters. Okay, that should I change this? Will it improve? And after a lot of testing, trial testing, we find out a system that we think looks good, then we take it out.
So filtration is done from starting itself, which data needs to be taken, how do we need to proceed in that, and what's the end result that we are expecting out of it. We do expect, all of that to come into that format itself, and then we'll proceed with that.
Right.
And the final decision is taken at the fund level, or how is it? Suppose the algo provides you a data. Okay, this is the data that you need to look at. So we at the fund level, we take a call on that, or it's already done?
No. So, see, if we do it both ways, some people, what they do is they will just take some data from the system and then they'll take a manual call. But what we try to do is we try to make sure the system only
gives the decision itself.
Yeah, obviously you have to make sure a lot of risk checks and everything is there. So we try to build that all as rules into the system so that it is also very consistent, right? What we have followed. And if, let's say, we want to improve something, we will go and change the system.
So one thing that's been fascinating a lot of people is, I feel, that you've been a part of the industry since a very long time and you have seen everything evolve. What do you think that, the major changes you have seen since then till now in the industry, specifically in quant model or,
See, I think a lot has changed since, I started in 2011 and 12.
Okay.
I think at that point in time, if you said we were doing quant or we were doing this,
It was a very big.
nobody understood what you were doing. Right?
Okay.
Nobody understood what you were talking about. For example, I remember when I used to work in Edelweiss and I would go and say, we want to create a quant-based strategy. When people will say that doesn't work in India, we won't do this.
Okay, people would dismiss the idea.
Dismiss the idea. But I think a lot has changed after COVID, I think, right?
Okay.
Because when the whole trend started happening after COVID, there was this big market.
Right.
You see, so quant strategies which are doing momentum investing do extremely well.
Right.
They were doing really well. So everybody started to understand that potential. People started experimenting with those strategies on their own also. And I think that has taken, I think a lot of, for example, mutual funds which are following quant have done really well also. Right? People have gotten fascinated and now while they understand, they also trust it. Another thing that has happened is that a lot of people now which have come into the market are coming from tech background. Right?
Okay, right.
Now AI has become very prominent.
Right.
So now people have started trusting their phones, their data, AI and all that. So now they say, okay, I'm fine.
They're adapting to it.
Yeah. Now
They're very open on it.
Right. So when they can make their payments through a phone,
right.
they can do everything through their devices by card. Systems has been invested also.
The reliability, they are being totally reliable on the system at the moment. So, looking ahead, how do you see the future of quant investing in India? Look, given that the significant portion of trading in the developed markets, they follow the quant models. Do you think India will follow the same path, or do you feel like something else is going to happen? What are your views on that?
No, I definitely think that India is going to follow the same path. I think, quant methods or, these data-driven methods, they will work when we have more data.
Right.
So, initially, India was a small pocket, not a lot of stocks, not a lot of data. So, it was quant method did not make sense. But now that the market is expanding, you can see how the breadth of the market is changing. So, definitely, I think quant methods, data-driven methods will have a lot to do. And like we said, there are so many advantages of quant-driven methods. They end up being much more tactical and active when compared to traditional strategies. They are able to cover a wide breadth of stocks in the same way. They can cover multiple factors. So I definitely think, and I think also Indians are also really smart. So, they will adapt to the quant methods. And I'd say
it's a very positive point. Like we see, India is going to adapt on all this stuff. So, the recent SEBI raid on quant mutual funds, do you think that can be a barrier on the growth of quant investing?
See, I think whatever happened at quant mutual fund, it's not related to quant as such.
Right. Okay.
It is more like operational or a compliance issue that happened.
Right.
But I really think that the philosophy that they have followed, which is broadly quant, has actually delivered really good returns.
But the investors are actually very much concerned because the name itself for the quant, they think that, okay, do we even trust that model? Do you have anything for that? We can tell the investors, okay, this is what you can be relaxed about, or, just to calm them because the air is very...
Yeah. I think, the model itself was working really well. Therefore, some people probably not sure if they did it, but some probably have done some front running on those.
Right.
So I think because it was very large scale trading, one mutual fund is managing large scale investment. So I think that's why, because it was working really well, and also the large scale, some people might say that, but that doesn't mean that the models were bad. No, that means that the compliance had some issues, which is not a fault of quant, which is the fault.
Quant models have been increasingly used into PMS itself. You being the fund manager of one of the promising quant-based PMS. Can you just throw some lights on how PMS industry has adapted the quant model? What are the benefits and what an investor could expect into this segment? Because in PMS we generally have investors who are looking for wealth generation, and they are open to a lot of things. So for those investors, what would you give an advice on?
Definitely. See, I think PMS, like you said, has a lot of potential to generate higher returns because it has lesser restrictions compared to mutual funds, right? So therefore, you see them doing better. And while a quant mutual fund has done better on mutual fund space, I think in PMS we can do even better. We've completed 1 year now.
That's right.
And have shown very good numbers. I think various other people who are following quant methodology have also done well. I think definitely you can do much more in the PMS space.
Okay.
And I think a lot of investors, we are seeing also very good response from investors, right? A lot of people actually are looking for systematic methods.
Right.
People coming from some sort of technical or related backgrounds, they really believe in this philosophy. They want to invest, they also want to learn.
So people must be very much interested in knowing, the strategies, the philosophy, what exactly are we following, and how does it actually work, right? Then do you get any calls like that?
Yeah, a lot. A lot of people want to, first of all, they want to understand the philosophy, and they really appreciate because we try to be very transparent.
Right.
So they appreciate that. Plus, they also want to know how they can try it out, how they can.
That becomes one thing. It's
very interesting. So we do engage with people wherever, however we can.
But I don't think so. It is very easy for anyone to get into quant. I mean, it's very
it takes some time and effort for sure, but there is a lot of interest for sure. And so there's some people who could get scared also. Some people think it's a new thing. Think to blow up and all that. So it's very insightful. You have to tell them, see, it has lower risk compared to the market. It is much more diversified, much more consistent.
Right.
And it's a lot of interesting conversation that you get to have with this.
Okay, got it. But different types of investors must be having various other kinds of doubts. Like there could be anything. May it be a universal or sector investment or approach. So does it come to a point where they ask you about what kind of approach do you all follow? Is it a bottom up or top down, or how do you diversify? Or they must be wanting to know everything there is to. And there must be a lot of investors as well who might have doubts that should I even trust, or like. So how do you cater those type of investors? Like, what do you say to them if somebody comes up with they want to invest, but it's being on that part, they just might feel like, how do we even gain the trust that we want to put into it, because it's a new investment style, and even if it's 2024, it's still a new investment style. So how do you cater those type of investors?
See, I think it's a very transparent philosophy, like I said, right? So we explain to them how it works. We explain to them what are the different risk management things in place. We have now returns of 1 year to showcase it's work well.
Right.
And not just returns, but we've also done risk management events, so we were able to showcase that.
So how do you do the risk management, if I want to understand?
So see, first thing is the basket that we create is very diversified. Right? So it's not like you're picking stocks from one sector.
Right.
And diversified. Second thing is we also look at the market condition, right? Okay. So if the market is looking really good, then momentum investing and all works together.
Very right.
But when the market becomes volatile, right, or sideways, you will see momentum is not the best performer. Certainly, quality or values is doing better. So we would shift our focus towards that. So we are also modulating our risk. Okay. That helps. We go into cash when risk is high.
Right.
Some gold and bond ETFs when the risk is high. Even we hedge it in our portfolio if the client is ready.
Is okay with it. So there's like 3 strategies that you all have at the moment. I believe one is factor hedge, and alpha. So how do you differentiate these strategies, and which kind of investors should invest into which kind of strategies? Like, we make a decision for the investor itself. So how do we do that?
Right. So See, we have two strategies. The momentum hedge, which we now call right momentum, and right alpha.
Okay.
These two are purely momentum. They're just based on the trend, right?
Right.
And expectation, earning expectations.
Right.
So momentum has 20 strokes, alpha has 10 strokes. So the difference between momentum and alpha is more concentrated. So it is slightly higher risk, higher return.
Right. So an aggressive investor could invest into something alpha.
Yes. Then our factor strategy is more, it's a combination of factors. So it has momentum, but it also has a element of value investing, quality investing, growth investing, and the focus changes with time.
Okay, as in when time changes, market changes, the focus of the strategy changes accordingly.
Right.
Okay. And what are the returns expectations one can have in all the three strategies?
So, see, we have done our back test, right? We have analyzed the data historically. And we expect our factor and our momentum strategy to have, based on last 10 years, around 40% CAGR numbers.
Okay.
But we have done better than that. For example, factor strategy has updated in 1 year with close to 80% or more sort of the things. And in terms of our alpha strategy, we expect it to do even better, right?
Okay.
Because it is more constant.
Right.
So we are looking at even higher numbers than.
Okay, now that's something very incredible. So at this market, if we see which type of quant strategies would do better, or which would be a better fit for the investors, if you could tell, and as compared to our strategies as well, like the ones we have in PMS of yours. So in that also, in context to that, which one would you suggest? Like these are the strategies that, according to you, would do better in the coming future now?
Right. See, I think momentum type strategies, which are big, trend, have done really well in the last 1 year. But what we have seen is recently there is some correction there because some stocks have become overvalued.
Yeah, right.
So we have to be careful about value along with momentum. So I think having a multi-factor approach, right, where we're looking at multiple factors, that will end up being much more consistent and reliable. But yes, momentum gives you faster returns in the long term.
Right.
So if somebody is more high risk in nature, like they don't worry about ups and downs in the market, momentum might be a great strategy for them. But if in case somebody is looking for a much more consistent performance at a moderate risk, then a multi-factor approach
would be a better fit. Right? A conservative client should invest into something like that, and an aggressive one could. Can you tell us a few things people should know before actually getting themselves into the quant investing style? Something that they should be aware of before, getting into it.
See, I think if they're coming to a PMS or a mutual fund, then, it's being managed by professionals, right? So they don't really need to do anything. They need to understand the value that a quant investing can bring. It can bring more consistency into their portfolio. It can give them a opportunity to generate higher returns. More active investing, more tactical investing.
Okay.
So I think they should understand that, and they should go with a manager that they think is doing a good job. Managing risk along with returns well, and trust the process and things like so.
During COVID, we saw a lot of volatility in the market, and after that, there was a lot of round-up. So now, at the moment, if we see from an investor's point of view, it's always a point of concern that there might be a volatile market in the coming future. How would quant react in such type of situation? How would it be beneficial for investors for them to rely, this type of investment would be better for me?
See, I think quant strategies typically adapt more to the risk, right? And so, for example, during COVID, we were running some of these strategies outside of our PMS. And when the market corrected 40%, we saw only 18% correction, and we recovered very fast. That is because, we acted and we deallocated from equity, we added core to hedge and did all that, right? So quant strategies typically
work well during
tend to do active risk management, which a lot of traditional investors don't do. So, I'm much more secured about quant investing doing better in riskier times.
Got it. Now that becomes reliable for the investors themselves. So to wrap it up, what would be your final thoughts or advice to the investors who are considering investing into the quant models?
See, I think quant investing is a very interesting field of investing, which will, I think, like you said, gain a lot of traction in India. And I think the future of investing in India will be largely quantitative. So, and we've seen quant strategies do much better for wealth generation, much better for risk management. So it would be a great experience for people to explore.
Okay.
And, I think be part of that evolution.
Right. Yes, definitely. I mean, people should not miss on the opportunity to invest into something this fascinating and this amazing. And plus, it is going to generate wealth for them. So I guess people should be a little more confident and should rely on, such type of investment. That's actually. Thank you so much, Sonal, for being here. Thank you for your special time. And we learned a lot today and we gained a lot of insights from your experience. We definitely look forward to meeting you again. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks also for having me.